Dear students, in this online class, we are going to take study the merits and demerits of Hindu undivided family business. We have already come to know the meaning and features of Hindu undivided family business. This is also one of the form of business organization. Now we are going to take up the various merits and demerits of Hindu undivided family business. So here it goes. The first merits of Hindu undivided family business is what? Effective control. That means the business of Hindu undivided family will be controlled effectively. Why? Because of the Karta has absolute decision making power. Since he is the senior person in the business who is going to take the decision, and according to his convenient, his knowledge, his ideas, he is going to manage the business. So this leads to prompt and flexible decision making. So the first merit is what? Effective control of Hindu undivided family business by Karta. The second merit is what? Continued business. Though death or lunacy or insolvency of Karta, the business will not be affected. So the next senior member in the business who is going to take up the business operations. So business operations are not terminated, and continuity of business is not threatened or affected due to death or insolvency or lunacy of Karta. So according to this merit, the Hindu undivided family business will continue as long as possible, irrespective of death of Karta or insolvency of Karta. That means there is a continuous existence. Next, the third advantage or the merit, limited liability of members. That means the people who are coordinating activities in the joint Hindu family business with that of Karta. In this regard, the liability of Karta is unlimited, whereas the co-members who are working in the joint Hindu undivided family business who are having a limited liability, right? So here it is given the liability of all the co-parishioners except Karta is limited to their share in the business, and consequently the risk is well defined and precise. So if anything happen, who is held responsible? The Karta is going to held the responsible, because who is having the power to make a decision. That is the reason why Karta has unlimited liability. He is the senior person in the Hindu undivided family business who is having lot of responsibility about the business, and rest of the co-parishioners are having limited liability in the business. Next, fourth merit, increased loyalty and cooperation. So the business has a loyalty. At the same time, the co-parishioners are going to cooperating with that of Karta for smooth conducting of business activities. So here it has been given the business is run by members of family. There is a greater sense of loyalty towards one other. Pride in the growth is there. Business is linked to the achievements of the family. So if the business is achieved, it is because of what? The coordination among the various co-parishioners, and they are going to coordinating with that of Karta. So the success is going to credit with all family members who are working with Karta in the Hindu undivided family business. So these are what about the merits of Hindu undivided family business. Here it is. There is effective control of the business by karta. The business is continued for a longer period of time irrespective of death, lunacy, or insolvency of karta. Next, third advantage is what? Limited liability of members, whereas the unlimited liability of karta, and there is increased liability of business, and there is a cooperation in the business. These are what merits of Hindu undivided family business. Now we are going to study about limitations or demerits of Hindu undivided family business. So the first defect or the demerits is what? Limited resources. That means Hindu undivided family business is operating its activities with limited resources. So, joint Hindu family business faces the problem of limited capital. It depends upon what? Mainly on ancestral property. So, if the ancestral property is more, if they have developed business, no doubt today business is going to operating in a large scale. So, if the earlier ancestors properties are less, now the business is operating in a low manner. So that is the reason why this limits the scope for expansion of business. That means what I want to tell you in this point, like joint stock company or multinational company. Here you can see the resources are more, capital is more, they are enjoying expansion of business, but the same thing is not going to enjoyed by the Hindu undivided family. There is a less capital, less investment. Due to this, business is operating in a narrow scale, in a limited area, or in a limited market. This business is going to operating its activities. Next, unlimited liability of karta. As we seen in the discussing about merits of joint Hindu family business, the liability of karta is unlimited, whereas the liability of co-members in the family are limited. So here the liability of karta is unlimited. So unlimited means what? The karta is bounded not only with the responsibility of decision making, but also management of business, right? So here, if the business suffers from the disadvantage of having unlimited liability, his personal property can be used to repay business debts. That means if the existing resources are not enough, then Karta has to go for making arrangement of resources. How he can be done it? That Karta can be adjusted the resource from his personal property. So he can sell the personal property and he can repay the business debts. Debts means whatever economic obligations are there, means whatever liabilities are there, these have been paid by the karta out of his personal property. This is what unlimited liability of karta. Next, dominance of karta. So why karta is dominating? Because he is having decision making power in the business. He is a senior member in the joint Hindu family business. Only he can take the decision because he has a unlimited liability. So the karta individually manages the business, which may at times not be acceptable to other members. Sometimes, whatever decision taken by the karta, this may not agree with the rest of the family members. This may cause conflicts amongst them and may even lead to breakdown of the family unit. Sometimes there may be the misconception raised among the family members about the decision taken by the karta, and this leads some extent there will be the disturbance in the family while conducting Hindu undivided family business. Next, limited managerial skills. So the karta who has limited managerial skills, that means business or assets management skills, business management skills are less. So here karta cannot be an expert in all areas of management. The business may suffer as a result of his unwise decision. Sometimes if karta taken the wrong decision due to lack of market knowledge or lack of business, now he is going to suffering. So his inability to decide effectively may result into poor profit. Sometimes it may loss also, even losses for the organization. So due to lack of knowledge about the market, lack of knowledge about the technology, lack of knowledge about business management, he may take a wrong decision, and if he has taken the wrong decision, ultimately his business is going to affecting, means what business is going to suffering from a loss. This is because of what lack of business management, means karta he may not have adequate knowledge about business, adequate knowledge about market. So business is going to suffering at his own fault, means by taking wrong decision. So these are what drawbacks or limitations of Hindu undivided family business. Thank you, dear students.